You might have noticed that a ton of action figure pre-orders are coming in all at once, hot and heavy. If you didn't notice, I'm sure your bank account did. Does that mean that the whole supply chain crisis from COVID is over? Should we expect this continue? Let's discuss. What's up, everybody? My name is Matt, often called Big Nerdy. Together we are the NWO, the Nerd World Order, and this is Nerdzoic. 1 year ago, I never would have guessed that I'd be sitting here having a conversation about all these toys coming in at once and the supply chain suddenly having the opposite problem, but here we are. Now, you might have noticed that all sorts of things are coming in way earlier than they're supposed to be. For example, the Black Series Kenobi wave with Reva and Obi-Wan, that was supposed to come out next February. It started arriving in June and July. The Vintage Collection Wave 12, that was supposed to come out in January. That started arriving in June. All the Spider-Man stuff wasn't supposed to come out until November or December this year, and it started coming out in August. There's rumors that the G.I. Joe twins are starting to show up. They're not supposed to be out till next May. The Dark Trooper's not supposed to be here till next May, but there's rumors of that hitting the shore. What do all of these lines have in common? Well, they're all Hasbro. More on that in a second. Reason being, it's not just Hasbro that's coming in hot and heavy. DC, NECA, Four Horsemen, Mattel, all also coming in hot and heavy, but they're just coming in at dates that they said they would be coming in, not early like Hasbro. When the dates were initially given for a lot of the stuff that's coming in from DC, NECA, the Horsemen, Mattel, I was like, there's no way they're gonna hit these dates. Hasbro's being responsible and giving us dates in the future knowing that it's not gonna be possible to hit those dates. But I was wrong. So why is that? Why are Hasbro dates so far in the future for stuff that's coming out now, but all the other companies has it right? What's the deal with that? I feel like Seinfeld. I think it's obvious. I said it a moment ago. Hasbro is sandbagging dates, as in they are setting dates way far in the future so that nobody can complain that things are late, and they all show up super early. It's like the guy who takes a girl to McDonald's for the first date, keeping the expectations low so that the second date, if you take her to Applebee's, you look like you're super awesome. From a business standpoint, what Hasbro's doing makes sense on paper at least. They are under-promising by setting the dates far in the future, and they're over-delivering by having things come out way early. But realistically, it's pretty hard on their customers, especially those who collect across multiple lines. They're putting their pre-orders in a lot of cases, if you don't pay up front, that means that you're gonna get all this stuff coming in at once, and you didn't budget for $1,500 in toys this month. You thought that $1,500 was gonna be spread out over 9 months. It also hurts retailers like the Nerdzoic toy store. Branding. I have been hit with credit card charges of about $15,000 a week for the last 6 weeks, which is tough on cash flow. Luckily, I was prepared for such a thing to happen, but it's still scary, and we could see a lot of stores go out of business with this. And I think it's kind of obvious how they managed to make this happen when they were so far behind before, and now they are seemingly running, at expectations. They canceled a bunch of rerun Star Wars figures, as I talked about in a previous video, and they did that so they can get caught up with production on new figures. I would not be surprised if they do the same thing with Marvel that they did with Star Wars and cancel a bunch of reruns, but it hasn't happened yet, so fingers crossed. So that brings us to today, and we're in a situation where everybody, from the Targets and Walmarts to the big e-tailers to toy stores around the world, have a glut of products available and not enough customers to buy it because there's so much coming in at once, and the supply is way above the demand at the moment. And a big reason for that is that the ETAs that are being given out by companies, Hasbro, are just like made up at this point. Now, for what it's worth, this is definitely not just a toy industry problem. With supply chain starting to catch up around our country specifically and the whole world in general, inventory across pretty much every sector is starting to stack up. There is a race in the United States right now for warehouse space, and it's getting super expensive as companies realize, holy crap, we have all this product and nowhere to put it. I drove by an Ollie's yesterday and they had shipping containers on the roof of the building. I don't know how that's OSHA compliant. Stores are living in a balancing act between, do we liquidate this stuff or keep it on hand for Christmas? Because quite frankly, one of the big questions in the retail commerce space at the moment is, if all this stuff is coming in now, what's gonna be on the shelves for Christmas? To put that in toy terms, if we end up clearancing out a bunch of product because there is a bigger supply than demand, what's going to happen when there's nothing else coming in before Christmas? If that happens, I don't know. So what can we expect to see else come out before the end of the year? I'm going to make some predictions here. These are just rumors. I don't know, but this is what I'm expecting at this point, just based on the way things are going. First off, I expect we're going to see Black Series Wave 9 sometime by Thanksgiving. That's the wave with Aayla Secure, the Blue Chick, the Grand Inquisitor, another Griff Karga, Darth Maul, all of that wave. I also think there's a good chance we see the wave after that, which hasn't even been fully revealed. That's the one with the Luke Skywalker from The Mandalorian. That one is rumored to have a bunch of Cassian Andor figures in there, and that show premieres on 9/21, so I would not be shocked if we got both of those waves before the holidays, as well as the Ned B. Deluxe figure. With Marvel, I expect we're going to start seeing the Black Panther movie wave and the Infinity Ultron wave hit in the coming months. That's not supposed to be out for a while. Black Panther, they did give a date, I think, of November. I think they'll actually come out right on time. But the Ultron waves next March, I think we'll see that before Christmas. I wouldn't be shocked to see the Crimson Guard wave hit before the end of the year. Now, you got to think that at some point Hasbro's going to true up these dates and have actual dates that make sense. But right now, it's anyone's guess what is going to be on the shelves come Christmas. So if you have a collector you're shopping for, you might want to do it now. Last year, the risk was, oh my God, we're not going to be able to get supply in time for the holidays. This year, it's, oh, the supply came so early that a bunch of people liquidated it. I don't know what's going to happen. I think people will be smarter than that, but you never know. If your bank account is hurting you from all of these pre-orders coming in at once and getting charged to your card, here's what you do. Shop at Nerdzoic.com. Branding. You pay up front, so there's no surprises down the line. You can also spread your payment out over 4 orders so that your wallet doesn't get hit all at once. And what kind of a marketer would I be if I didn't say to make sure you're checking out the little new arrivals thing regularly. Also make sure you're subscribed to the newsletter and all the socials so you don't miss anything, because when I get something that's hot, it doesn't last long. So remember, you gotta get old, but you don't have to grow up. Just be cool and stay nerdy. Later.